Cup final hangover, just as St Helens are here. Leeds 32, St Helens 10. That's the half-time score at Headingley. And the Leeds supporters on the terraces here are absolutely loving this. Well, can Saints come back and show what they are made of? Or will Leeds kick on and run up a huge score? We shall see. It looks like Leeds are still anxious from this very first tackle of the second half to try and run the Saints off their feet. And when you think what happened, Steve-O, last Saturday, big match, big celebrations, of course, all week, those tactics are absolutely spot on from Darryl Powell.
Well, they took all the power, didn't they, the 10-15 minutes at the start of the game. It was good hard work from the Leeds forwards, and then they started shifting out. Carl Pratt and Justin Harris, the combination has been superb, but the way that Harris has gone out wide all the time, not taking the first receiver, sometimes he was getting the ball 3 passes out wide. That can only spell danger for any opposition.
It's now with Carl Pratt, and he moves infield and finds Sinfield, and off the chest and arms of Bradley Clyde, knock on by Leeds. Of course, there's a danger that Leeds just get a bit complacent, it gets a bit sloppy.
Well, it does, but he'll be disappointed with that, and so will the coach, Darryl Powell. But I think the tactics are right, as long as they can sort of absorb yet again. In other words, try to play the game over the game on the game plan that they did in the first half. But they're confident. That you can see, they're oozing confidence of this Rhino outfit.
The game is never over, though, till that final siren when the Saints are involved. And there are many, many sides and many, many coaches who will bear testimony to that. Here's Vila Matautia now for the Saints. He offloads to Sean Long, and Long skirts away from Sinfield, and here they come. Here they come with Iro. He applies the brakes, then goes forward, dumps it over the top to Sean Hoppy. And Hoppy is halted 12 metres short of the line. 2 tackles remaining, this set of 6. Iro the dummy half. Long is the man to receive. He showed it to Furley. He gives it instead to Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe thought about the pass, had to take the tackle in the end from Farrell. Cunningham on the last, dabs the ball towards those posts, but it's well picked up by Robbie Mears, and here comes Leeds.
Good work from the hooker there, but poor support play by the St Helens. Kieran Cunningham putting a kick there, and there was no one even thinking about running forward.
Pratt on to Bradley Clyde. Bradley Clyde, well, if he hadn't stumbled then, he would have had the Saints' defence on the back foot again. As it was, Sculthorpe got to him. Carl Pratt, the dummy half, to Harris. Another wide pass to Sinfield, then back to Cummins. On it goes to Hay, and Hay will take this tackle. Sinfield again, senior, great strength, attracting 3 men to him. Shields was there, so too was Steve Hall. Sinfield once again. Here's Robbie Mears, thought about the pass, decided to take them on. Matautia and Furley getting to him with the tackle. It's the last. Harris, flick pass on the bounce to McDermott. Here now is Andy Hay. Andy Hay to the line. Another try for Leeds. Big smile from Darryl Powell. It is going to be the Rhinos' night. Don't think there is any doubt about that. Andy Hay, his first Super League try of the year, and the defence just melted.
Very tired defence, but Harris took the gamble, went on the last play, and the power play paid off. You can see Sean Hoppy was out of position, they went far too high. They are a defeated outfit, I'm afraid, this St Helens mob. The heads are down. Sean Hoppy was in no man's land there. He just flicked him away. Simple try brought about by keeping the ball alive. Quick thinking from Justin Harris.
Well, formerly with Castleford and Sheffield, he joined Leeds in 1997, coincidentally the same year as Justin Harris arrived here. And talking of Justin Harris, here he is, trying to add the extra points to Hayes' try. And St Helens once again in their group behind the posts, as Harris adds 2 more points to the Rhinos' total. It's 38 points to 10. And the girls are dancing, and I'm sure that they are pretty happy on the terraces as well. Andy Hayes' try at the start of this second half.
We spoke about the fact that Leeds started positively from the kick-off. There was 4 passes deep within their own quarter. They are on for a big score here at the Rhinos. They want to inflict as much pain as possible.
And that they will do if they can. I'm sure that that first try for Leeds wasn't in the St Helens script at half-time. I wonder what was said by Ian Millwood and Darryl Powell. Bill Arthur has all the answers.
Well, we've seen Darryl Powell's reaction to that try, exactly what he wanted from his side at the start of this second half. Just to remind Saints that Leeds were not going to take their foot off the gas, weren't going to be complacent despite the fact they got themselves into commanding lead at the break. That was the message to Darryl Powell's players, that they've got to see this right through the 80 minutes and really put in a comprehensive performance to put down the marker for the rest of the season, that they can beat the big sides in Super League, and that is exactly what they look like doing. It was a positive Saints dressing room at half-time by all accounts. Ian Millwood saying to his side that they can still get back into this game, but it is going to be an almighty task, and they need to do something about that soon, and they need to shake the lethargy from these limbs, because they do look very, very tired. Well, not so much tired as they just haven't woken up, because they were partying for most of the week, only back in training on Wednesday, and I think that is pretty evident out there.
A lot of people, Steve, are listening to this will be, I think, critical of the fact that players will party for half of the week and then be expected to turn up for a very important fixture, which this is.
Well, we talk about partying, and I don't think that it would have gone overboard. They may have done on the Saturday evening and maybe on the Sunday, but quite frankly, these are professional players. I don't think we're given enough credit for the Leeds way that they've played. I mean, they have really controlled this match. They got stuck in early doors. They made St Helens realise they were in a game, and you can see there's another mistake, and they're forced errors. It wasn't just poor play, it was because that the Leeds defence were into their face.
And John Stankovic with the mistake. He was 18th man in the final, a little bit unlucky really to be left out. Pass from Sculport was all right.
And you could see there the way that Sinfield was getting across to him. It's been a tremendous all-round effort by the Rhinos, and they have shown some tremendous teamwork and some wonderful skills.
The handling errors 5, but 21 missed tackles by St Helens. That's the problem. They've been picked up here for a handling error of their own now, Leeds.
Looks a little bit confused. So do I. That went backwards. Don't know where they got a knock on from McDermott out of that one. Maybe that was it. I thought they went backwards anyway. Either way,
he dropped it.
Or was it flicked out?
Senior all over Iro.
Been a great battle, isn't it?
But he did well, Iro, to get that away to Sculport. Oh, and Sinfield wrestles him to the ground.
And that's fair. There was no grab of the legs. They can do that. Now, the one thing that this is the action. There was no grab on the legs from Hay, so that's the reason why the referee thought it was all right. So one big problem now is for hopefully that none of these players out there just lose their cool.
Sean Long. Lovely scampering run from Long. This is the 4th tackle. Cunningham on to Sculport. Back it goes to Anthony Stewart, and Stewart is spun to the ground by Keith Senior.
Never played it.
I think he might get him for the... No, you're right, he didn't play it. I just wonder whether he would give Stewart the penalty for interference, but nope. There was none.
He got away from it. See, the Keith Senior had already peeled away. Just made a real hash of it, did the full-back, Anthony Stewart.
So the penalty goes Leeds' way because the ball wasn't played properly.
You just got that feeling, Eddie, you know, just before the kick-off. Remember when Bill Arthur was speaking to both captains, they both looked up for it, but Justin Harris, he had a sparkle in his eye, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And talking of a sparkle in his eye, Francis Cummins has obviously caught an elbow or a clash of heads. He's in the blood bin.
So that's Lambrusca now then. That's the sparkling one, is it?
Well, you know more about these things than I would.
So you're a teetotaler now, eh?
Absolutely. Discussion between captain and referee. And Keith Senior, he's gone off as well. Shall we restart? I'll just give St Helens time there to regather their breath. This is McDermott.
Well, it will be a ploy by Saints, trying to slow things down. Leeds, on the other hand, they want to keep everything moving. They've also played the ball very quickly tonight. I was often critical of a Leeds side in the past, who are often slow to regain their feet.
What a great run that was from Anthony Farrell. Anthony Farrell, almost 300 career games now, one of the most experienced forwards in Super League. This is one of the least experienced players in Super League, Carl Pratt, but boy has he shown up lively here tonight. Sinfield. I must say, with people, Steve-O, like Walker and Sinfield, the youngsters, but mixed this time, rather than when we saw them against Warrington, mixed with the experienced heads. Such a different team, this.
Sure are, and I think the fact that when you get the two big fellas in the centres, Carroll and Senior, in such devastating form, it really is like having two extra forwards out there, especially running out wide. It really has been a battle royal between Iro, Hoppy and Carroll and Senior. I'd pay the entrance money alone just to watch those four.
Cunningham to Anthony Stewart. Almost 12 minutes of this second half gone. Cunningham's away again, and he escaped the clutches of David Wrench twice. Gave it then to Tim Yonkers. He attracted three to him. Cunningham again. Down the short side. Iro, good hands. Great hands. Here he is again. Sullivan. Steve Hall. Sorry. Hall, great run to the corner. Great tackle low by Sinfield. Terrific run from Hall, but great tackling back by young Kevin Sinfield. You'd think it was 38-36.
What a beautiful pass from Kevin Iro. He did well, did Hall. He confused Zendelea, but Sinfield was not going to be denied. That's what he's there for, the loose forward. He came across on the angle, pegged the winner. Boom. And the Leeds fans loving this.
They should be. And they certainly enjoyed the tackle of Kevin Sinfield. Good crowd in here in Headingley. And really, this is a booming sporting city at the moment, isn't it? Leeds going so well in Super League. Of course, Leeds United in the Champions League. Yorkshire cricket with great expectations for the summer to come. And we must mention the Tykes as well. They're in the top flight of the other code next year.
Just a bit high. Swinging over the top.
Quick tap penalty by Leeds. Harris can't get away from Iro.
Yeah, it looks a vintage year for Yorkshire, doesn't it?
Well, for this part of Yorkshire, yes, with the 3 trophies across the Pennines in St Helens' capable hands. Here's Clyde. Here's Pratt. Now it's McDermott.
Well, they've tightened up the defence a heck of a lot of St Helens. They had to, of course. They were ripped apart, especially in the last quarter of an hour in that first half. But one wonders now, Eddie, when they go to the last quarter, how will they handle it? They look very heavy in the leg department to St Helens. But that's all Leeds have to do now, is just make sure that the kick in the chase is good. Trying to keep them pinned down within that quarter. That makes it pretty difficult for a good kick and chase from the Saints outfit.
Sullivan, about 3 or 4 of them had a snatch at him and missed each time. Here comes Stankovic.
There's still a lot to play for from some of the youngsters out there.
Big Wayne McDonald's on now for Saints.
Well, McDonald, the man playing the ball, and Stankovic. This is a golden opportunity to really show to the coach that maybe they should have been selected.
away. Long ball out wide. Chance here for Hall this time, and Hall gets in. What a break from Sculthorpe to set the platform for Hall's try. Steve Hall, substitute last weekend, missed the semi-final against Leeds. On the wing though in the grand final against Wigan.
Good play there. You could see that they were very short on the blind side. That's excellent play, and it's well finished as well from Steve Hall. But a man of this quality, you cannot allow him the space to run and scheme things out there. Senior was well beaten, and Steve Hall, that was a great effort. Went low at the end, always going to score.
He's got a pretty good strike record, hasn't he? Steve Hall on the wing for that grand final last year as Hoppy covered for Paul Newlove again. Now then Sean Long to try and add the extras. Way out on the far side. Drifts it in towards the posts. Terrific kick. Terrific kick from Sean Long. 38 points to 16 now.
You see on this occasion on the blind side, Senior is actually going backwards rather than moving towards Sculthorpe, and he's off balance. No chance of stopping him. That was a super pass, wasn't it? Had to be finished as well through a neat little dummy. Sufficient. He's come on a long way as this fella.
Stay outside. Stay.
So 38-16. Nearly 57 minutes of the match to go, and actually if you look down the list this year, just one away win in Super League for St Helens at London, losers at Bradford and Warrington, they drew at Wigan. That is not the form of champions away from home, but their minds have been on other things. Let's go down to the sideline, join Phil. Phil, surely that can't be the start of a St Helens revival, or can it?
Well, you can never write St Helens off, can you? It's a good comeback there. Whether they've given themselves too much to do, but they've certainly improved in defence, and they're managing to find a way through this Leeds defence. Leeds, although I think half-time completely disrupted everything that they're set in that first half. As a handling error there now from the St Helens side.
Well, it's a penalty for obstruction.
I think Leeds really, at the half-time, just stopped everything they had going. Obviously, Leeds have worked to improve on the defence. Here's Sean Long just drifting across the field. Does so well, but the pass misdirected. Now then, can Leeds get back to that flat attack with two quick wide passes, hitting St Helens wide of the play of the ball?
Well, that's the thing, and I would think that that Darryl Powell, the Leeds coach, the last thing he will want to see, Steve-O, is his men taking the foot off the gas.
Well, they want to get as many points, they want to build their confidence, not only for himself and the players, but give the fans something to cheer about. We all know that St Helens, they're the team that can go home and they can go and polish their medals. And there's nothing in the cupboard here at Leeds as yet.
This is Fleary, 20 metres away. It's much better defence from St Helens. Early part of this second 40 minutes. It's now with Harris. He's gone past Joint. He's away from Stankovic, stepping out of the tackles. That is a wonderful try.
Has he got it down though? I think Hoppy, might have dragged it out.
Well, Harris is convinced. The referee is not convinced. He's handed it on to the video referee to decide.
I think Hoppy's stolen this. Yep, that's no try. There's no downward pressure there from Harris. He gets his fingertip to it there, but I think that Hoppy has actually reefed the ball away now. This is a big call. Hoppy reefs the ball there. Maybe Harris's left fingers. We'll see from a different angle. There's Hoppy reefing the ball out. He loses control there, and then now then,
I think he'll give this.
Does the little pinky say yes?
Well, it's a fair fight for the ball, and I think Harris wins it in the end.
I'll go try then for the little pinky.
Oh, you've bottled out. You've bottled out.
How did I bottle out when I've got it right?
You were going no try till I said I think I'll go try.
Watch my lips, is what they normally say. Well, we're enjoying it, and I'm sure you people at home are enjoying it too, unless you're a St. Helens fan, of course. You can see there that the tackling is not the best. The skills of Harris going over. Hoppy did ever so well to try to stop the man who's about to add the 2 points, maybe.
Yes, looking to increase the lead here. It's 42-16. This for 44-16. 44-16 it is. Well, I was going to pose the question to you before that try from Iestyn Harris, whether Leeds would just ease off a little towards full time.
Oh no, they want 50, they want 60, and they're trying to get them 70 if they can. They really want to make sure that, okay, they have not just beaten Saints easy, they want to hammer them. And they know that there will be plenty of excuses made.
And they will remember, Steve-O, 2 years ago, Leeds won the cup, went to St. Helens on the Wednesday after, and lost by 62 points to 18. So I think you might be right, there will be no charity on show.
As I say, it's St. Helens that have got the medals. We all know who's going to pick up the winning bonus tonight. The scant consolation, though, for St. Helens. They came here desperate for those 2 points. We made it quite clear, didn't we, Eddie, about the fact that later on in the season, these points lost, they're going to be difficult to catch up.
They are. The kick from Harris was over the top of Stewart, and it's going to stand in the in-goal area. He's got to get this back, and look at the chasers there. Terrific chase from Leeds. Well, State of Origin number 1, Queensland against New South Wales, is live on Sky Sports 1 Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. And just a quick reminder that we also have Yorkshire against Lancashire, our Origin game. It's live on Sky Sports 1 from Headingley here on Tuesday the 5th of June. We'll be live with you at 7:30, and Mr. Stevenson will be in the white rose and I shall be in the red rose, I'm sure, and Phil Clark will be neutral between the two of us, and that is a poor ball from Sculthorpe. But I think Mr. Clark might be ganging up on my side of the fence that day, somehow.
Is that right?
I'm sure. Phil, you'll be sporting the red rose of God's own country, won't you?
Yeah, and I'm going to get Bill a little white one as well, so it's 2-2 and last man standing.
Well, Bill's sort of a quasi, isn't he? You know, he should be Lancashire, but he'll claim Yorkshire. I know what he's like.
Excuse me, Bill. It won't be a little rose we'll have. We'll have a very large one, you and I.
Adopted Yorkshireman.
Well, you couldn't play in the Origin game then. Anyway, we'll have bags of fun. Here's Cummins. And it will be a very important fixture, that, by the way, because Great Britain spots and the Ashes Test series coming up in the autumn, all up for grabs. The players who play in the Origin, they will have to make themselves available for that to be eligible to play in the Great Britain,
and that's
Australia.
That's how it should be as well.
Here is a candidate, the way he's playing at the moment, senior.
Barring injuries, of course.
Yes. So they have to make themselves eligible if they're fit.
Oh, they're very tired, Saints now. Barely walking back onto that line.
Harris, wide to Carroll, he wants 4. Well, he give it to Walker instead. Walker gets over. Chev Walker, first to acknowledge the part played in that by Tony Carroll. 18 years of age, and well, Ian Millwood hasn't tasted defeat very often in his St. Helens career, but he's going to be defeated tonight.
Unselfish play, but super effort though in the end. The nod of approval from Ronnie the Rhino, and why not? The combination and a beautiful long pass from Iestyn Harris. Again, you see how they're utilising Harris well away from the ruck, well away from any opportunity for the defence to get to him. See how they hang back now. That's a tired defence, but that was a superb offload. Had to be scored. Good work there by Walker in the end.
Well, Chev Walker is the 7th try scorer for Leeds Rhinos in this romp tonight, and boy did he benefit from the England experience in the World Cup. It had many detractors, that competition, but it has produced some great talent, particularly for the home nations. Iestyn Harris takes Leeds to the half-century point. And Ian Millwood's record, this is his 43rd game in charge. 35 wins, 1 draw, and now it will be 7 defeats. And the people on the terraces, and that man in the centre of your screen, Darryl Powell, delighted.
He certainly didn't look it there, did he? But I can tell you that inside he will be extremely happy, and rightly so. It's the manner of which they've scored some of their tries.
And they're not done yet.
It has been outstanding.
I think we made the point before the match started, this isn't a bad night to catch the Saints.
Yeah, you're right. Obviously, when you come straight off a cup final win.
Leeds did play on Monday, to be fair.
Yeah, and also to be fair to their new coach, Darryl Powell. He has given a lot more freedom for this fella here.
Here is Harris, the pass inside, it's legal, and it's a try for Cummins. And you saw the numbers there for the man of the match. 2 tries for Francis Cummins. He will be a candidate. 2nd try of the night for him. Leeds, well, they are running riot against the world champions. And the Rhinos, they are exacting revenge for what happened to them post-Wembley 2 years ago.
I mentioned before, the ability of Iestyn Harris, superb, especially in situations like this when it's a tired defence. He came from the open side, could see that they were a little bit slack on the blind, made the break, one of the dummies, and again, wonderful positioning by the fullback Cummins. They've all had a fine game, they've all played their part. This is superb rugby league football. It's the manner in which they've produced it as well, and the coach deserves one heck of a pat on the back, Darryl Powell. It's not easy to come into the big time. A lot of pressure. Our guest Brian Noble knows that all too well.
Iestyn Harris has added the extras. 56 points to 16. There are candidates for man of the match all over the field. The kick-off this time has found its way over the dead ball line. And here's the man of the match numbers for you in the UK: 09009 10 10 13. In the Republic of Ireland, 15 50 92 35 56. And if you agree with Brian Noble, Steve-O and Phil Clark, you will win yourself a couple of tickets to the grand final. Well, a drop out from underneath their own post from Leeds for the kick-off from Sculthorpe that found its way to the dead ball line, and the dropout then finds its way to the sideline, and it means head and feet at the scrum to the Leeds Rhinos, and Ronnie is delighted about all of that.
Well, everything's going right, isn't it, for Leeds? Best attempt to get to that football, but they're not just physically tired now, St. Helens. They're mentally spent.
They've got the ball back, though. A mistake, handling error by Leeds.
That's the first mistake that Carroll's come up with. An otherwise outstanding performance. But to be fair to this Rhino outfit, if you could give the award to every single player, then I would. It's been a great team effort.
McDonald's not held. The tackle was made in the end by Fleary. Here is Cunningham. Cunningham trying to wrestle his way to the line. 12 minutes now to gain some pride back.
Well, he won't give up. Sculthorpe will run his blood to water. He always does.
Here's Long. Bullet pass to Iro over the top.
Anyway.
It was messed, I'm afraid, by Anthony Stewart. Not St. Helens night.
I think the pass here from Iro was a little bit forward. Not easy for the youngster to take in. Pretty high.
Now then, Jamie Matthew taking on Stankovic. Just a word, by the way, as Mears drags Leeds ever further forward. Francis Cummins, 144 tries now for Cummins, level with the great Lewis Jones on Leeds' all-time chart. And Francis Cummins, this is his 250th career appearance. Carroll has escaped the net again. Carroll is taking on Stewart. He is number 4 for Tony Carroll. Tony Carroll with the latest Leeds try. And St Helens will be desperate for the full-time siren. But as far as Leeds are concerned, they will play all night.
Outstanding. But you can see here that Sculthorpe was left in no man's land. It was well picked out by Houston Harris. Harris's distribution tonight has been superb. And that's one of the major reasons that Leeds have found so many gaps out wide. He's enjoyed that role that Darryl Powell, the new coach, has given him. He's taking him well away from the busy areas in and around the play of the ball. He's let him loose out wide, and boy oh boy, it has worked a treat.
The crowd are on their feet because Harris has added the extras. 62 points to 16. Leeds Rhinos save chip. You have to watch Soccer AM on Sky Sports on a Saturday morning to understand what that's all about. Bradley Clyde taking that ball up in the first tackle of this set of 6, and St Helens Agony has just got 9 more minutes to go.
Well, that Warrington fiasco, Ian Millwood said that the players, neither himself has actually looked at that particular tape. I think this is another one that'll go straight into the dustbin.
Yes, I think it probably will. By the way, it will be a little bit different next Friday on Sky Sports 3 notice. Sky Sports 3 next Friday at 7:30. Leeds take on the Bradford Bulls. What a match that will be, and Brian Noble, our guest here tonight, will be in a slightly different role on his next visit to Headingley in 7 days' time. And of course we'll see how Bradford's post-cup final celebrations, if that be the right word, have gone this week. Castleford against Bradford, Saturday at 6 o'clock, that's tomorrow, here on Sky Sports 1 again.
Well, it's getting worse, isn't it? Poor Yonkers has lost the ball at the play. Just lost it. Sorry, Mr. Yonkers, but the touch judges won't miss that one. And they were quick to point out to the official, Robert Connolly. Well, I must say, he's had a fine game.
Tony Carroll fancies 5. Tony Carroll was just ankle tapped, and a good job he was as well, and he's hurt.
Could have injured.
But he came to a juddering halt.
This could be a hamstring problem.
I think it might be the shoulder, Steve, I'm not sure. But anyway, we're not medical men. The physio will get out to him and check him out.
Thank the heavens for that you and I are not.
Yeah, we don't even know what a cold is. Senior. A bit of a misunderstanding with Bradley Clyde. The knock-on now Leeds way. And you might be right, he's limping, isn't he?
Just the momentum there. I think he just tweaked the hamstring. What a night this guy's having. Good effort though by West. He was stood up by Carroll to start with. Had enough speed to turn around and get him on the second attempt, albeit by a trip.
5 breaks for Tony Carroll. He's got tries from 4 of them. And he had a try disallowed, didn't he?
That's right. For a suspect forward pass, which I thought was all right. Jimmy Matthew not too impressed with the way that Sculthorpe moved the ball-carrying arm.
Good play there from Matautia at the back door to Cunningham.
They've tackled well as well, Leeds. It's leading the way. He doesn't get many plaudits, but he does his job, the hooker, Robbie Mears.
Long's pass was behind West. West taking on Walker. Walker standing up to the task.
Nice effort there from young West.
That was forward to McDonald.
Looked it.
Iro, the dummy half. He fancies taking them on himself. Brushed Pratt away. Flicked it back. And Fleary picks up the interception.
It had to be. They're just trying to keep the ball alive. They know that it's a completely lost cause. As Eddie mentioned before, they're just looking towards the hooter now. It's a game they'll want to forget. Certainly a waste of time, really, for Ian Millwood to sit down, because I know he looks through the tapes, pores over them hour and hour and hour upon hour, but I don't think he'll bother with this one. This is one for the bin, as we said earlier.
No, he said that after the Warrington game, as you rightly said, and he won't be terribly interested in this. But in the overall context of the season, you know, one away win, it could.
Yeah.
It could. It would be amazing if, and we're all tipping that one of the big four might not make it to the playoffs. It would be amazing if, despite the fact that they've got the 3 trophies in the cabinet at the moment, that Saints don't make it to the playoffs.
Well, I've heard a few pigs squeal over the years, and I think we might get quite a few chief executives squealing late on in the season if that does happen.
Yeah, well, they all voted for this fixture list, didn't they?
My word.
They said they wanted these big matches, and we all do. We want the cream of the crop. But it's a tough run in for all the top 5, the top 6 from last year.
And far too often you talk of the cream, but it can go sour if it stays too long.
Wrench tackled in centre field, Yonkers. And here is Harris. He's drifted through, he's got Cummins.
Hat-trick.
Cummins gets the hat-trick. Well, Harris has cut them open, and they have had players flooding forward either side to score tries tonight. And Leeds and their supporters have enjoyed this. 4 for Carroll, 3 now for Francis Cummins.
We mentioned the fact earlier that Justin Harris loves nothing better than to play against a tiring defence. He has all the skills, hasn't he? And that was beautiful. You won't see a better sidestep than that. He just pegged off one leg, then onto the other. The balance was superb. Not surprisingly, Mr. Cummins had a huge grin on his face. Lands the extra 2.
Yes, a complacent conversion to Francis Cummins' try by the captain, Justin Harris. It's 68 points to 16, and it now is St Helens' worst ever Super League defeat. It eclipses the 65-12 defeat against Wigan in 1997. Phil Clark is watching it all from the sideline. Phil, it is not one of the rare nights, to be a Saint.
Well, you say that Ian Millward might not look at this tape, but if you think in the last 2 Super League games they've conceded over 100 points, and that's quite ironic when they play at Twickenham in the Challenge Cup final.
Well,
don't concede a single try.
Phil, that's the reason why. Because of that, that's why they've conceded so many points.
One of the things I suppose they want to do is get some consistency in his defence. One week they're fantastic, the next they're absolutely awful, and you consider some of the one-on-one misses. You can put some of it down to fatigue from the cup final, but some of it maybe a lack of communication, a lack of focus, perhaps on 1 or 2 occasions a lack of effort.
They're in for more here. Senior's over. They're over the 70-point mark. A shake of the hand for the coaching staff at Headingley, and Keith Senior gets his 2nd try. Well, what can you say about this if your name is Ian Millward?
Well, to be fair, Leeds appear to be playing against 13 dustbins out there. That's how tired Saints are. They're going in at will. And I'm not so sure that even Ian Millward can glean anything of value out of this particular game. They've been thrashed. They really have not taken this game by the scruff of the neck. Leeds certainly did that. There's been no cohesion, there's been no combination or links to the three-quarters. Sculthorpe and Long haven't had any opportunities to get the three-quarter line going.
This for 11 goals in a match for Iestyn Harris, and he's managed it. 74-16. What a night for the Rhinos. What a night for Senior, for Cummins, for Carroll, for all the try scorers. Well, the abacus is red hot up here. Certainly Keith Senior's try adds to St Helens' woes, and Harris's 11 goals, he scored 10 in a Super League match 4 times before. They're counting down to a massive win. Well, it has been joy to behold for Leeds Rhinos. St Helens, many of their supporters have left for the exit long before this. And St Helens will take comfort from the fact that they won the Challenge Cup last Saturday. Leeds, of course, beaten in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup by St Helens, so they have exacted revenge for that. 74 points to 16, the final score. I don't think too many people would have predicted an avalanche of points of this magnitude. But Leeds have had one of their exceptional nights, and Saints have had one that they would prepare to forget. Now then, still to come tonight, following us, Sky Sports 1 at 10, wrestling action in WWF Late Night Raw. Over on Sky Sports 2 now, live US Tour Golf Day 2 of the Compact Classic, and at 11 highlights of today's play from the European Tour, Day 2 of the French Open. And coming up on Sky Sports 3 tonight at 10, it's the Friday Night Sports Centre. And of course, coming up this weekend for rugby league fans, Castle of Bradford tomorrow, Saturday, live from the jungle at 6, and then from Australia and the Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, the first of this year's State of Origin matches live. New South Wales up there against Queensland. It's at 11 AM on Sky Sports 1. Well, somewhere out there is a Leeds Rhino man of the match to name. And that's what we will do when we return and reflect on Leeds 74, St Helens 16.